We've got the Centaur Grand Hunt, that you can do. Of course, also the nomadic camp that's going around offering the stuff bi-weekly, so that's all content to do. And I like how with the Grand Hunt, is it 3 times you can hand it in?
3 times hand it in, yep.
Yeah, once for the main reward and then 2 more times for the trophies.
For small, yep. And this is, I'm just going to stop anytime there's a thing and talk about it, because the Grand Hunt is really good. So there's a couple different reasons. Number one is that it makes sense, right? It's just the Grand Hunt is there. It's the Centaur they're hunting. It's the Sugar Hunt. They're doing that, so they're asking you to come along. That vibes with the world. It vibes with everything they're doing. It's just, oh hey, we're going out. Do you want to join? Fucking right. The other thing is the small amounts of design they've applied to them goes a very, very, very long way. So there's amazing for skinners. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec. So there's what they kind of alternate between being specific named mobs you have to kill that they spawn in and killing a load of beasts. So it doesn't just feel like, oh, just go kill the thing and it's done. Or, it could have been kill 1 mob, but instead it's do these 6 stages. And the stages vary enough in terms of what the mobs actually do that it feels like you're hunting different things. But I noticed there's one, I don't know if this is a specific one, but there is there's one that spawns invisible. And you have to have people, because obviously, right, with dragon riding, you could just dragon ride. You could just dragon overhead, scan your map, like / target. Oh, there it is, go sorted. So you wouldn't really be able to hunt. That would be a bit strong. So what they've done is they've made it invisible until people follow tracks on the ground. And that sounds like, it's another step, for sake. In the sense of if people just want the reward, they'll go, oh, well, that's a barrier to my reward. But what's happened is people are going, oh, or at least I went, oh, that's flavor. That's fun. That's enjoyable. There's a little bit of, oh, we're actually hunting this thing. And that small difference completely changes from how it felt in, say, Korthia or Zereth Mortis, where 99% of what you did was see the rare come up and then like dive straight down from the mount and go, okay, well, I've tagged it, it's done. And that's something that that feels really good. But there's also mechanics that you have to deal with, like the Talbot or what's it called? The Long Strider, I think, whatever it was, that runs around real fast and you have to block its path and stop it. That was that killed me because I wasn't moving out of its way because I was kind of a little bit tired at that point. I'm like, that was unsurprisingly fun. It wasn't just a mob for me to kill. And then there was the other one that did spreads and stacks. I go, oh, that's people are forced to respect mechanics because it does so much damage. And obviously it's not particularly difficult, but you still do it and go, oh yeah, well, that's better than doing nothing. In the same way, dragon riding is better than AFK flying them out. And then also you also get to skin everything that everyone else kills. They've changed the skinning. I think because I've not skinned them, I think they've changed the rules where you skin, you can skin other people's tags now, and I think they don't disappear if multiple people can skin them around. So you end up getting a lot of skinning stuff, and you need a lot because professions are crazy expensive this time. So I thought that was really, really fun. Just the way the Grand Hunt actually worked as a bit of content that feels like more than just fly down and kill something. And I thought it's those small things I think ultimately leads to people having more fun overall with the game. They don't disappear until you personally skin them. The mobs are phased in that way. Yeah. Oh, that's in Shadowlands. Okay, because I haven't skinned since WoD, I think, and doing that with John at launch was fucking wonderful. Where are we at? Because we've got the Centaur hunts. Oh yeah, because I saw someone talk about the shepherding quest. That kind of sucks. That'll be boring, especially if you have to do it twice a week because it spawns again, I think, the second time, and it was really bullshit. But then we've got the other event, which is the community feasts, and I think these are again, right? They could have just went, it's some soup. Go get us 20 fish, get us 40 fish, get us 20 fish each, get us a load of mobs for meat, and then pick up some herbs and call it a day. They could have done that, and it could have just been, you do your mandatory hand, and you hand in 50 materials, 100 materials, and we'll call it a day. You'll get your soup. But instead, they made it actually fun. They made it actually good. They filled it full of character. Because for anyone who hasn't done it yet, it is like you full on get instructions dynamically as you wait there. You respond, yes, chef, and then you go do the instruction. And sure, there's not very many instructions. Like, there's only a couple. But they're really, they're fun to do. You get into a rhythm of it's simple, but it's fun. Go and get the pepper smelt from the kids, and then the smoked vine, and then something else. Or, you go get the, you go fish specific things from pools that spawn around. Or you start either bossing other people around or praising them on their work. That's another instruction you get. Or the one where you jump into the pot and you mash your extra action key to spin and stir it. And it's those things it's the fact that they could have done it the shit way, but they sat down and spent the time to make it the good way. And they made it the good way, and so it's really fun to do. And I did it for I did twice yesterday. And both times I was like, am I playing the same fucking game? Is it the same developers in charge of this? What do you mean we went from whatever the hell we've been doing for the past couple of years to jumping in a big pot and spinning around? Because that's fun. And, people are saying what do they call it? The cutscene, like the Monster Hunter cutscene where you're the little emphasis in. Obviously, Monster Hunter's gotten very, very big in the past couple of years in the West. So clearly they were playing Monster Hunter and went, that's a great idea. Let's do that for Community Soup. And then you get a big versatility buff out in the world and you go, I can do that. Help with world content. It's a fun thing to do. Everyone's doing it together. And especially when you're in charge of either shouting at people or praising them, you do that to other players. So it is literally, you see the name and you're, oh yeah, that's another human I just called an asshole for not helping enough. Or, as I did, I praised them all because they were doing a great job. And then you build the soup to be even better depending on how many people are helping and how efficient everyone is. And it's just, they put a lot of effort in and it shows and it is fun. And like someone else said, there's the May Iron Paw, I think her name is, or May, I think. But the half-hill master of the pot lady is there.
Yeah.
And you're of course, because it's a big pot. Fuck. Obviously, that's a good thing. That's a good part. They've completely knocked out of the park with the community events. If they can add more in patches, either in the Dragon Isles or add more content in, say more enemies for the Grand Hunt, or add whenever, if we're getting a patch zone, add it in there, then fuck.
Yeah. It's we've so long been saying, hey, can we get a bit of Guild Wars 2 in the world? Can we get a bit of, other stuff in the world? And we're getting that, but also we're getting it with their flavor.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
Definitely what's good.
Exactly.
And the phrase that I came into was what is this? This is so different to where we've been for the past few years.
Yep.
And it's very bizarre. It's so reinvigorating.
Mm-hmm.
Not just reinvigorating as just somebody logging in to play the game,
mm-hmm.
but I would say personally reinvigorating. And for whatever reason, if you're super deeply invested in World of Warcraft and you have been for a long time, for me it is half of my existence, in terms of years, right? But it's actually more than that because, was I having any profound thoughts at age 10? No. So it's actually for basically the entirety of my, thinking existence as a more actualized individual has been in and around this particular IP, which is fucking loony shit when you think about it, isn't it? Right? It's kind of madness. But, that does mean that it's not just oh, wow's bad, that's a shame. It's kind of oddly existential and gnawing away at your foundations. Not to say that it's oh, this is the foundation of my identity. It's not. But you know what I mean, right? If you're kind of deeply in the thing and then it goes really bad. I suppose in the same way if Nintendo somehow managed to do a new Smash, ruin Smash, and ban all the other Smashes from being played, and then somebody who's been playing Smash since I guess the first one in the Nintendo 64, they'd be what have you done? You've ruined half my existence. Why?
Yeah, Nintendo would never do anything to ruin Smash.
No, they're a great company. They always know everything perfectly.
Panda Global. Smash World Tour cancelled. Fucking tired.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like genuinely reinvigorating in a way that extends, I suppose, beyond just the, you know, the second to second, like, oh, I'm playing the game and it's fun.
Yeah, there's it's I don't really know how to describe this. It very much feels like Blizzard themselves are reinvigorated in a bunch of ways. Obviously, you know, people clown Overwatch 2 for good reason, but it's like, at least over in the World of Warcraft team, it seems like they've all done something they should be unequivocally proud of.
Yeah, thank fuck we are pegged as a premium game.
And it's actually good content, good artistry in it that makes players feel a certain way. It's substantially better than, here's some shit for people to fucking waste their lives on while they funnel money into your company. It very much feels like, I have an experience, have like, not necessarily a life affirming one, but a one that's like, you're going to do these quests, you're going to fucking think about, or at least feel what these characters are feeling, and that should, as stories are supposed to, reflect on you as an individual, or at least be a seed planted in who you are. And that's the artistry of a lot of these side quests working, and a lot of how the world feels. You're like, that's what it's about.
You know, I find that, like, in all of their pros and cons, theme parks are a fascinating analogy for so many aspects of games. Like, as a business model, in things like level design, vistas, sightlines, all game designers should be looking at good theme parks. And, you know, like, learning the, you know, shit from, like, the Disney Imagineers and, you know, Universal and all that. But I guess I bring it up because, and this is specifically to contrast, was it Bob Chapek and the fucking great ruination of Disney parks and resorts that's happened over the last few years. But the kind of like ideal thing there, right, was, so you turn up, you buy a ticket, you go into the theme park, and you've bought the ticket because we have cool shit in our theme park, such as this big new ride we've made, like Expedition Everest or something, right? And, you know, the problem now is that the whole theme park experience feels so disgusting and nickel and dimey. But, like, with World of Warcraft, we're very lucky that we're a premium game. You know, that they never went free to play. Yeah. You know, we don't have those same concerns as Overwatch people. So now the value proposition with World of Warcraft, and yes, I do know about the in-game shop, of course, and WoW Token. But, like, broadly speaking, for most players, it's a case of, hey, we have a bunch of cool new systems, cool new gameplay, bunch of really good content. This is the entry fee. And we're not left in a situation like, I mean, take like Guild Wars 2, right? I mean, you could talk a lot about how great their mounts are, and they are, as like a bit of, you know, game. But because that's buy to play with no subscription, which, you know, they obviously do face content cadence downsides because of that. But if you want to customize your mount, you know, get a whole bunch of, you know, new skins and stuff, that's money. That's gems. And you can turn your gold into gems, but the whole thing is just time is money. So it was like, it was fun going to the rostrum and showing the Guild Wars 2 playing girlfriend. Oh yeah, this is what it's like in this game. That's a more premium a la carte experience. There's zero extra monetization to dragon riding. The monetization is, it's cool, so you pay the subscription fee. And
then you
know, compared to like an Overwatch 2 situation.
Yeah. And
thank fuck that's where we are.
Yeah, well, you buy the World of Warcraft token to get the Razageth appearance from Mythic Boost, but beyond that, yes. Yes.
In case you were worried that Matt was dead, he's still alive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There will be a point today where we'll talk about all of the ticking time bombs.
There's like, oh, go on. What's the deal with this buff positive Matt? What's going on?
Yeah.
Times are mad.
Yeah. John, didn't we literally make a video about time equals money on the Yellow channel? No, it was actually the Warcraft channel. It's called Time is Money. And it proved that time is money in video games. But yes.
Oh, man.